hope that you are all doing well on this beautiful, beautiful morning here on the Mexican border, the American-Mexican border. So I hope that you were able to see the videos from last night. Man, I know it's early, so we'll see who even comes in right this morning. But I don't know if you're able to see the videos from last night and from yesterday afternoon. But I was on the border and I conducted a number of interviews with people. We also observed randomly, after getting a tip from one of the citizens, Marine's wife. This Marine actually spent 3 years in Vietnam, commanding a Vietnamese platoon as a sergeant. So he was a real badass. And he's not able to get health care through the VA. So he goes to Mexico with his wife to get like glasses, right? To get, were they the glasses ones? You guys tell me. I think they were glasses. But check out the video from yesterday. Hey, good morning, everybody. So then, when we were at the border, after seeing the Marine's wife told us that hundreds of children were going to be ferried back and forth from New Mexico to Old Mexico to New Mexico every day on your dime. Hey, what's up? You guys are coming in the chat. Awesome to see you guys. Cool. Good morning. Let me try to set it up. I'm doing my live chat. Boom, there we go. I have my new phone up, so I had to instruct it, as to how to show me your messages. So now I know. All right, cool. So we saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Mexican children being brought into the United States, and then your tax-paying money, your taxes, pay for the diesel of the school buses and for the crossing guards who spoke no English. One of them spoke no English at all. The woman yelled at me in Spanish, told me to not record, and I was like, I have the First Amendment. She was like, I don't speak English, and I was like, well, I think I yelled at her and told her you need to speak English in my country. I'll post the video later. I have it recorded. So. Good morning, what's up? I see Kathy in the house. I don't have anybody behind me right now, so who else is in here? Sunkiss, cool. Billy, what's up, bro? Great to see you. Oh, guys, this is amazing. Thank you for coming into the chat. So yesterday when we left, you might have seen the conversation with law enforcement, right? A law enforcement officer told me I'm not allowed to videotape. I'm not allowed to shoot live video on the border. And I said, oh, okay, there wasn't a sign here that said I couldn't videotape when you guys are sneaking the kids in and out and not checking them at all. Oh, there's not a sign. I didn't know I couldn't record. And I thought that I had the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. And I left yesterday, and I was thinking about it last night. And I called an attorney. And I asked him, I said, hey, was that a legal order? Was that a lawful order that guy gave me? And he said, absolutely not. And somebody put it in the chat, too. Somebody came in the chat and was like, hey, he can't tell you that. And that's what made me say, hey, maybe let me check with the attorney. I also went online and I read case law. So you can read that case law of Askins versus Department of Homeland Security et al., which means that everybody. And it says that no law enforcement officer can tell me that I cannot record at the border. They cannot take my phone and delete messages. I am allowed to record everything within sight and hearing, within view. I can record, unless it says restricted area. If it says restricted area, I can't be there in the first place, so I obviously can't record there, right? So the fact that they surrounded me and tried to move into a tactical position yesterday, and then they pressured me, they were pretty cool. They gave us good advice. But that doesn't mean that we don't have the First Amendment. And it doesn't mean that somebody's going to block my First Amendment. So I've already talked with one of the amazing moderators, and she has my attorney's contact information, and she has information about where I am, and we'll put out contact information for like local sheriff's department, local court system, Customs and Border Patrol, whoever we need to get in touch with. And then my attorney will get in touch with people as well. So right now, we're going back to the border to exercise our First Amendment right in accordance with the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, and additionally in accordance with the case law passed in 2020 in U.S. federal court, which states that Customs and Border Patrol or any law enforcement officer can be recorded while they're performing their duties. They cannot stop me in any way unless I'm in a restricted area. They cannot take my phone, they cannot delete my messages, and they cannot retaliate against me for exercising my free speech. And so some people might say, hey, John, there's this Constitution-free zone, 100 miles around America, your Constitution doesn't apply. And I would say, no, that's specifically related to the Fourth Amendment to protect Border Patrol agents to conduct searches and seizures when they think that there could be an immigration violation present. Okay, so there has to be the propensity for officer who doesn't know the law and who's acting on their feelings or like on their willingness to be like the boss, instead of like remembering that they serve Americans who are protected by the Constitution, which their brothers and ancestors have bled and died for continuously. What do you think? Do you guys think I should run off, or do you think I should go back and show you what's going on? Because I think that just like they sneak hundreds of kids out of America and back to Mexico in the evenings every day, I think they're sneaking them in to America in the mornings. And there's so many hundreds of children, there's no way they're checking them all thoroughly, like they're going through an airport screener. Maybe they do, and maybe they'll invite me in to see this process, and I'll be able to show you guys. But maybe they just let the kids go through. They say, what's in your bag? They say, oh, candy. And they say, ha, 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 you have candy, go ahead. Instead of being like, oh, wait, but your dad put like 150 pellets of whatever, you know, in the secret compartment, and your teacher's going to take it out when you're at recess because your dad's hooking up with the teacher on the side. And don't tell me that's not a possible thing, right? So I've got the sun coming back. I'm going to try and drop this thing. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I'm going to go to the border right now, and I'm going peacefully and not violently. I'm not going to like make a scene. I'm simply going to stand there with my phone like this. If people come up to me, I'll talk to them, you know, respectfully, like I have done, like we spoke to that Marine and his wife yesterday. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Joe, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, other people are streaming at the border. So if people are coming down, that's, right? Discriminatory and retaliatory. So, and I'm happy to file a 1983 claim against state or local officials for violating my constitutional rights again, right? The pictures of those DC police on my YouTube live stream, every one of them is going to get dragged in front of a U.S. federal district court judge, and they're going to have to stand there in their shame and explain what they did to me when we were in DC. It's great. Now I've sent the lawsuit to multiple people, so if something happens to me or if I'm hacked, it can still go out, all right? And it will become a public document, and then people will get the truth. So even if people do try to do something to me, I have little safeguards in place. All right, we're probably like 15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes from the border. And as you can see, it's sunrise down here. It's coming up. Oh, maybe you can't see because of the sun, but heading down towards Mexico, there's nothing out here right here, okay? There's nothing out here. So if we're seeing school buses, lots of school buses from now on, and I'll make sure I turn the camera around for you guys so you can see them, right? I'll make sure that you can see what's going on if we do see them. And that will indicate that people are coming this way from Mexico. The only thing ahead of me, I'm going straight south. You saw the sun over here. Sunrise is where? Where is the sunrise? Who read my book? Is the sunrise in the west? You guys know what to do. Where does the sun rise? Come on, visionaries. Show me it. All right, good. Joe already knew, though, because Joe's a badass Navy operator. So, Joe, thanks for being a moderator. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that your whole family is doing well. You guys are awesome people. So, a lot of respect to the Nagy family. And if you guys don't follow Jesse Nagy on YouTube, you should. You should check him out. J_N. He's a great guy, and he has a really cool channel in Missouri Patriot. So check him out. We're almost there. I'll drive into the sun for you guys. That's how much I love you. You know, I'll drive into the rising sun. East, 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 east. All right, good. We do have some smarty pantses, some smarty pants in the chat. Good to go. All right. If anybody read my book, who can tell me how to use a crescent moon to determine direction? The moon, okay, rises in the east and sun because the Earth rotates in the same freaking direction all the time. It doesn't like rotate other direction at night. Right? Good. So how can I use a crescent moon though? You guys are in class for like 5 minutes. Any moon rises in the east, sets in the west. Cool. How do I use a crescent moon? Who has the book? Nobody read the book? I know you just started getting them yesterday, but this is one of the things you'll learn. Does anybody know that already? Do you happen to know it? I would love to see the answer. All right, I'm not going to say it. If somebody figures it out during the chat, first person to pop it up, I'll send you a free book. First person to tell me how does a crescent moon help me determine direction? I'll send you a free book. First person to put it in the chat. You're like, oh shoot, I can Google it real fast. Maybe it's not even on Google. Maybe I have some like ancient secrets. All right, we're gonna pass this shiny hiney. Ready? slingshot, engage. Hey, there's a little switch on your shifter, man. It helps you grab another gear, 10-4. It's all right, he'll figure it out. 10 around. Like that. All right, did anybody say it yet? Nobody knows. Nobody knows how a crescent moon tells us direction. That's the question of the day. First person to put it in the chat. Then you got to send me an email, convoyxray@gmail.com. I'll send you a free copy of the book. Okay? And we're going back to the border right now. I've studied up on the case law. I've talked to an attorney. They know where I'm going. They know if I am detained, what to do. You know, I could only be detained at the most for a couple of hours unless there's like something grossly illegal that they do against me, right? Detaining me at all for going back and recording using my First Amendment right would be something that I drag them in front of a judge for with a subpoena. You know what I mean? And force them to answer for it, right? And then I would buy a new truck with it. So people would pay for violating rights, especially when they've been advised of the law and the case law up front, and then they still choose to do it. If that happens, I'm going to get paid fat. All right, here's Border Patrol in front of me. And Border Patrol's great. Again, yesterday I was trying to help recruit for them, and I was saying that you guys should look into BOR-TAC and BOR-STAR. If you don't want to be a regular Border Patrol agent, set a career path for yourself of BOR-TAC or BOR-STAR. And BOR-STAR is Border Patrol Search, Trauma, and Rescue. They're like the search and rescue division of the Border Patrol. And BOR-TAC is like a special operations community within the Border Patrol. The crescent moon is at right angles to the east-west line. All right, explain that a little bit more. You're really close. You're really close. It's in my book. There's a really easy way to do it, down and dirty way, that even your kids could do. Like even maybe a 5-year-old could do it. Like my nieces. I could teach my nieces how to do this. They're not quite that old, but they're really smart. You were first. All right. So we draw a line from one point of the top of the crescent to the bottom of the crescent. We draw just like a straight line. Like put a ruler against the curvy points of the crescent moon like this. Put your ruler like this. And this line down here where this intersects with the horizon, that's south. All right, that's south. Check it out. There's some terrain behind me. There you go. So that's south. You draw a line through the crescent moon. Wherever it hits, that's going to be south. There you know. All right. What about the stars? You guys are like, we're at the border. Stop asking me about the stars. But there are really good stars at the border. And if you have one of these really cool, you know, publications that you can buy at the national parks, you know, you can learn all about the different constellations. And in my book, I actually tell you about how the Big and Little Dipper are kind of involved in a weird cosmic off-skew 69er. It's kind of freaky. So if you can always find those lovers, you can always find north. You know what I mean? I got a whole line of Border Patrol here. We're dropping to 50 miles an hour because we're going through the checkpoint. Check it out. Hey, and something I found out yesterday, I was talking to Shelly, and Bobby came to Deming. Bobby actually came out here to Deming to like explore and hang out with some families. So he had come out here as well, and he was actually writing a book, and he had the Duck Commander book, and I've got the Duck Commander Bible. So there were like 3 wild connections with Bobby, whose truck I have right now, you know? All right, here's the Border Patrol checkpoint, keeping us safe. Thanks, guys. Good to see you again. Yeah, same a-hole. That's me. All right, here we go. All right, so if you do want to do BOR-TAC or BOR-STAR, you start out with regular Border Patrol, which is a very honorable profession. Again, it's a good thing to do. Even though they're not getting supported by the guys in D.C. as well as they should be, they're good guys who are really, and women who are risking their lives to help keep us safe. They're not supported by policy. That's the sad part. All right, we're close, guys. We're inside the checkpoint right now. We are inside the checkpoint. We're rolling down to the border. Good morning to everyone, and thank you for being with me. The case law that we're going to cite if anybody tries to detain us or stop us from filming is Askins, A-S-K-I-N-S et al. Versus Department of Homeland Security et al. It's a 2020 case that the ACLU brought. So that's what we're going to go and quote. We're going to quote case law from U.S. federal court, and we're going to cite the Constitution, the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. And I'm going to read you the First Amendment. Right, well, I'm driving and I'm on video, so I'm not going to read it to you, but maybe somebody could copy and paste the text. Could you guys copy and paste the text into the chat of the First Amendment? Because I would read it to you, but I'm driving right now, and I don't want to create an unsafe situation on the road with a semi-truck behind me and a law enforcement officer in front of me. Or ever, but, you know, especially under these circumstances. Sylvia, I'm very sorry to bother you so much this morning. Do your work thing. We should be cool. I've been talking about the case law right now, so if there's folks who are watching, they understand that, like, I'm 100% legally correct in what I'm doing, and if they violate that in any way, I'm going to bring a 1983 or a Bivens case against them, depending on whether they're state and local or federal officials. Bivens case is for federal officials. 1983 cases are for state and local officials related to constitutional rights being suppressed. And specifically, I'm anticipating my First and Fourth Amendment rights being suppressed, if any of them are. Right? But that's what I anticipate. So, of course, got the vehicle nice and clean, and which it was, but just, you know, made sure everything was nice and clean. And I have the case law, and we have message ready for the attorney, and the lawsuit is in other people's hands, you know. So I think that I'm in a good position to go down here and be a First Amendment auditor for you guys, even though, you know, that sheriff's deputy told me I could not film at the border yesterday, but he was really cool otherwise, right? So that's like saying he limited my constitutional rights, but he was really nice about it, and he was. And he gave us good advice, right? Remember, guys, he told us to go to the local meetings with our county commissioners, school boards, right? He said, go to the local meetings. And he said that he does it because he's a citizen and it's important to him. So I thought that was some of the best advice that you could possibly hear, to get involved with your government locally. So get involved with your government locally. Don't lay down and let this stuff happen to you, right? Don't let your rights be ripped away from you while you stand by and look at the clouds. You know what I mean? This is just the stuff we're aware of, too. So I love America. We're the greatest country in the world. I serve America. I've always served America. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to make sure that Americans are aware of what's true in real time. It's undoctored or adulterated. It's just real, true, live video. And then you can form your own opinion based on the primary source intelligence. You know what I mean? Watermark, that's a good idea. But, oh, Sylvia created that intro video. How cool was that? Or that video for the subscribe video? I thought that was awesome. Really good job, Sylvia. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Maybe we do a little short watermark or intro thing, like a 3-second thing. I don't want to make people wait, but you tell me what the professional or appropriate thing to do is. All right. I can't really pass this guy, can I? He's going like couple under, and then the border patrol guys are just like 100 yards in front of this guy. So if I rip around this guy, I've got to like then slow down and cut him off. Why did you guys pass this guy if you're going to go the same speed as he is? Why would you pass him and go the same speed? Douglas, Arizona is bad with cartel? Okay. What's going on in Douglas? And isn't there an Air Force base? Isn't there a base down there? Thank you very much for telling me about that in Arizona. I'm thinking about maybe checking some things out in Arizona while I'm down here. It's one of my favorite states, and I've had a lot of fun in Arizona. I actually used to work at Arizona State University in the Center for Policy Informatics. So I was like helping governments figure out how to use their budgets, and they usually didn't listen to us, but we were with the MacArthur Foundation, which is like a pretty well-respected group. I was working for this MacArthur Foundation professor, and so we were just walking to governments and tell them how to fix their stuff, and then they'd like try to argue, and we'd lay the data out, and then they'd be like, oh, you're right, can you help us? And we'd be like, yeah, of course we want to help you, that's why we're here. And one way that this professor did that, it was brilliant, I thought. The government of Phoenix, Arizona wanted to buy more things than they had money, right? They wanted to buy more stuff than they had money. So we were trying to say, like, well, what's most important to you? Like Jordan Peterson talks about, you have to be able to prioritize what's important to you, and that's what makes you intelligent, right? You can't say, oh, everything is important. Well, yeah, but what's more important than what? If you have to decide. And sometimes you do as a leader. So, like, how do you prioritize, right? How do you prioritize and stack rank what has to happen in what order? So, I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe I'll shut up. You want to look out here. But we have to be able to prioritize. This is who I'm behind. And then there's like 2 Border Patrol agents in front of him. He's going 5 under the speed limit. And the other guys are clearly going 5 under the speed limit too, because you can see the Border Patrol guys up there, they haven't like gone out of view yet. So they're not going faster than this guy. So they passed him, and then they're going the same speed. And we're all together like a bunch of moops. Alright, whatever, what can you do? Can't win them all, right? Woo! Alright, so welcome everybody. I'm glad you're in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Tommy Temper's in the house. Cool, what's up, dude? Great to have you here. It's great to have like other live streamers come into the chat. I went into that guy's chat who came in to mine yesterday, and I put a message, was like, thanks for your message, like, keep up your good work, because I think it's important to try to like grow the mycelium of patriots, right, to connect us. And it's underground, and it's a strong network, and it bears a lot of fruit. So we're like a mycelium mushroom, you know, strong network underground. Oh my goodness gracious, I have to get around this guy. I feel like it's the DC dump trucks again. Alright, 10-4 there, driver, I'm coming in. And as soon as I do that, the speed limit dropped to 55. Isn't that always the case? You're like, I finally get a place to pass, and then it's like, hey, now drop your speed to 45. Alright, but that means we're getting close to the border, right? Or we're at that little town with the enchilada fries, which are like poutine, because they use Mennonite cheese on enchilada fries. So it's like Mexican poutine, if you know what poutine is. If you ever come to this area, I'll show you the restaurant. Enchilada fries, steak enchilada fries, quote, Mennonite cheese. Look around. I don't know where the Mennonites are, but that's the cheese they're using. And I think that means like cheese curds. That's what it tasted like. So I'll show you the restaurant when we get up here. If you're having a good time, smash the like button. We're almost to the border. This is the last spot where you can get like food and water and stuff before you get to the border. And then at the border, there's like a Family Dollar. So if you need to get some things there, you can. And yesterday we saw people going back and forth buying like Pampers, diapers, whatever you want to call them, things like that. And again, as we approach the border, I just want to briefly have a little intellectual discussion with you, just for like 2 seconds, all right? For more than 2 seconds, all right? Always, but this is really important to me. As we approach the border, let's try to keep the most open mind possible about what we're seeing, okay? Raymond, if you go by Las Cruces, the Love's truck stop, you may find coyotes making them beg for gas money. I've seen that, yeah. It's the only one on 40. Okay, cool, I will check it out. Thank you for telling me. Las Cruces. Okay, I'll check that out. Hey, where were we? Bring me back. Okay, intellectual discussion. See, you're this close. It's a thread. It's like freedom. You have to hold it. All right, get away from me like a bird, if you let it. Okay, intellectual discussion. Keep an open mind as we approach the border. I want you to think of all the different perspectives of all the different policy actors which are at play at once. It's going to help make us a more intelligent community, okay? I don't want us to go in here and be like, oh, all these people are coming across the border and using our tax money to drive the diesel buses to get our $16 million school here that was built for them. $16.5 million, I think the number was. That's what the woman said yesterday, the witness. Okay, here's the restaurant. It's right up here. Right up here on the left. This is it. Borderland Cafe. Can you see it? Right there, Borderland Cafe. That's where you go. Borderland Cafe. They have Mexican poutine, enchilada fries with steak and cheese curds. Crazy. Crazy situation. All right, so don't hate me for this. I want you to try to keep an open mind, right? It's the people who can keep an open mind who can learn the most because they haven't dug deeply into their perspectives. Now, some of our perspectives are appropriately entrenched because we've seen, felt, heard, and been impacted by things for such an extended period of time that it's impossible to present evidence to the contrary, right? Such as the reasons which lead me to be talking to you guys on a live stream. I can see the border, by the way. I can see the border from where I am right now. You are less than 5 minutes from action. And again, I have no idea if they're loading up buses with kids right now or not in the morning to bring them in. It might be. But I know that they snuck them out at 3 p.m. every day right here. So 3 p.m. they're sneaking out. They got to bring them in the morning so the parents can go to work, right? And like grow the GDP. Are the parents growing the GDP for America or Mexico? In which country do they work and in which country do they pay taxes, or is it both? If I work in multiple states, right? You're paying taxes, so what you do in multiple countries? I don't know. All right, we are really almost there, guys. I can see it. You can see the infrastructure starting to pick up a little bit. I'll turn you around real quick. Oh, thanks, Sylvia. And Sylvia, I just wanted to say thank you. I saw all those links that you were popping up yesterday, and thank you to everybody who took the time to check out my book and my website. That's who I am. That's why I'm credible. That's why you're credible, because you're associated with me. All right, nobody's able to tear us down with that information, because that's the information that goes to groups like USGS, park rangers, game wardens, Yale, Brown, Columbia, and Dartmouth professors and students. Okay, there's the border right there. You can see it. All right, we're almost there. I'll flip you around as soon as we see the sign. And then again, who knows what'll happen. I'm here peacefully and non-violently. No weapons or anything like that. Totally peaceful. I don't even have a bottle of whiskey in my truck, you know? Usually I can have a little bottle and it'll last me a long time. Keep it in my bag, but I didn't have a tip for the housekeeper, so I left her like that much. I bet she likes it. Or hey, somebody will like it. It's good whiskey. But I was like, I'm not gonna have anything in here that anybody can make up a lie around or about. You know, that's how clean we're gonna be. All right, welcome to the border. Here we are. Mexico border, 1/2 mile is what that sign just said, if you didn't see it. And my other question is, they're not stopping people with like dash cameras from recording down here, right? They have dash cams rolling. Who knows? Maybe it happens earlier. Maybe it happens at like 7. Maybe it's 7 to 3, so it's an 8-hour day. Boop. Did you see the sign? Here's the Family Dollar. And again, we expect them back at 3, so maybe we'll hang out for a little while today. We'll talk to some people and see what the citizens think. This is the border right here, so this is where I was parked straight ahead of me. I'll just show you guys before I move into the area. This is all the border infrastructure. The flashing sign says now leaving the United States of America. And you can see what appears to be a long line of people over here on the Mexico side trying to come into the United States. This is a much better camera, right guys? So there's a long line of people coming in. Customs and Border Patrol are screening them. There are also people walking in. But let's go look around the area and then we'll set up and we can talk to some people, okay? And we'll see what we can learn. But again, I don't know if there's going to be like whole busloads and groups of people coming in. If you want to see that did in fact happen, go back to my videos yesterday on both Rumble and YouTube. So Rumble and YouTube has images of that, okay? And you can check it out. All right, there were no signs that said I couldn't drive here. This guy's doing a massive piggyback. And there's the border fence straight ahead of me, right? That is border fencing, which is cool. All right, that says do not enter, so I'm not gonna go over there. But we can go down to the border fence and look around and we can talk down here. And then we'll see what we can see. Oh shoot, look how far it goes. Build that wall. I got you here, Bobby. See the border fence all the way down there? I'll hop out and show you guys this stuff. Try to talk to some people. Here's your Mexican border, folks. Just drive right up to it. You know, we four-wheeling. Just kidding, guys. So you always do two-wheel drive in and four-wheel drive out. Look at this. This is Mexico right over here, folks. You're looking at Mexico right across the border fence. And I'll take you outside in a little bit and show you around. But over there is the wall, which shows you the processing point. So everybody has to come through this processing point right here, which is a great way to help control the point of entry, the port of entry, right? So this is what it looks like. Good morning to everyone, and thank you for being here. Yeah, just like Sylvia said, if you want to get a signed copy of the book, just send me at least 25 bucks, and I'll send it to you on the 19th when I get them. All right, cool. So this is CBP. This is the border. The checkpoint is actually right up here, and I'm kind of on the Mexico side, but the fence is here. So I assume that it's, you know, the fence that lets me know where the border is, because it's a big fence. And that seems logical. You know what I mean? All right. Good morning, everybody. So I just wanted to bring you down to the Mexican border to show you what happens in the morning and what happens in the afternoon. And it looks like I may be a little bit late today. We'll hang out for a little while, but maybe they come early in the morning because they're leaving at 3. Now, this is all the back end of the border, guys. This is what it looks like here. And again, I'm here in accordance with my First Amendment rights, and I'm here in accordance with a case law, which is called Askins. Check this out. This is in America. Askins versus Department of Homeland Security et al. And this is where I was standing yesterday, right here. This is where the school bus pulled up. You can see the sign that says school bus stops ahead. Why would there be a school bus stop sign at the border? Did you guys see that? I'm gonna circle one more time and show you that. There was a school bus parking sign right at the Mexican border, which supports everything that I'm telling you. And Sylvia looked it up. This is something that's been going on for about 40 years. So for 40 years, students from Mexico have come across into the United States to receive free schooling. And this is where they do it. And I guess we're talking about people with dual citizenship. So somebody with American citizenship has sex with someone with Mexican citizenship. They have a child. That child has dual citizenship, right? Or it's applied for in another way. But that's usually how it happens through, you know, through the whole like Adam. Never mind. Anyway, progressive begatting. You know what I mean, guys? Cool. All right, so here's the border. I'm at the border fence. There's no America past here, right? That's it for America, and you're in Mexico. Everyone agree with that? That's it, right? So that's Mexico. All this is border infrastructure. So I'm like coming, Mexico is over here behind me, and there's nothing here except for border fencing. And now we're going north. I'm facing north right now towards America, right? I'm coming up into America north right now out of Mexico, and with the border wall behind me right here. You see the border fencing behind me? With the border fencing behind me and CBP, Customs and Border Patrol, the checkpoint right here. Look at this. What does that yellow sign say? Well, let's go over to it. But to me, that yellow sign is a school bus crossing sign or something like that. All right, let me put my phone down so somebody doesn't come and say I'm unsafe because I'm holding a phone while I'm driving at 2 miles an hour on a dirt road. Check this building out. What do you think they used to do in here? I bet they used to get after it in there. Look how cool this place is. That's awesome, right? I bet this place right here has a really cool story. I don't know what it is, but I bet it has a cool story. All right, so here's someone pulling up. We're gonna go take a look at these signs. You can see the signs straight ahead of me. Like I didn't move them, and I'm not coming from some opposite or other direction, right? Cool. And here's the border, right? This is the checkpoint. This is where you come into the United States. And then once you come into or out of the United States, the first thing you see are school bus signs. Well, that's very strange, isn't it? Why would there be school bus signs and children crossing, you know, at the border? I know you can't really see through there, but let me do this. Right, I'm at the border. At the Mexican border, here's a vehicle about to cross into Mexico. You know what I mean? Crossing into Mexico, at the border, and then here are the signs, school bus, children's school bus. So to me, that's... All right, so to be in the chat, is that weird to you or is that normal to you to see a sign like that on the Mexican border? To me, it's very strange. Why would there be a school bus picking children up from Mexico and taking them to school in America? Because it allows their parents to work, which improves international trade, because it gives the kids a better education, because it might make the kids grow up to love America and help America, right? Those are some of the reasons that this is a good idea, letting the kids come to school in America. It gets them a better education, it helps them to love America, and it helps to strengthen international trade. That's all I'm saying, okay? On the contrary, we're all paying for a bunch of people to go to school who don't even live here. And if they're dual citizens and they're choosing to live in Mexico, let them go to school in Mexico. So I see both perspectives. Let's see what we can see. All right, and I'm just gonna roll up my sleeves a little bit because we're about to do some work. Doors locked, Constitution is in hand. This is a great time to read the First Amendment to you guys, right? Let me put you down for a second, hold on. All right, stay with me. I'm looking it up right now. I want to read it to you before they come over here. First Amendment. I lied to you. That's an article. Keep going. Amendments. First time. Amendment 1. Congress shall pass no law respecting an establishment of religion and prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people to peacefully assemble, right? And to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Boop. Okay? Do we agree? You guys should get a constitution if you don't have one. And I'm cold, so I'm going to get a sweatshirt. Wait one. Whoop. All right, always be prepared, right? Dress like an onion. All right, cool. Now we're in business. Lock this one, turn you around so you can see the border. Grab my tripod here real quick. Quick advertisement. Thank you very much. Never forget, the leaders are readers. All right, here we go. Oop, there's this one. You can see, look where my flag broke. My flagpole, the whole pole, it looks like it was cut or something, or sheared. It just went bam and broke. So I have to get a new flag. And this is what the border looks like. It's nice and quiet right now, guys. We were here yesterday, so you kind of know how things can look. You see a lot of people coming in from Mexico, but you don't really see people leaving. And I'm just setting up the tripod, so sorry if you're bouncing around, Gus. Cool. This will help you see. That's America over there. This whole way is America back here. And then if I turn to face the east, you can see a parking lot, right? And some communications infrastructure, but this is what we want to see today over here. Boom, there's the border. And this is the port of entry, right? And our First Amendment rights allow us to film here. I'm not trying to make us less safe. Anyone can roll through here with a dash cam on, right? Any cartel person could drive through here with a dash cam and they could see as much as I'm seeing. So it's not like I'm putting secrets out, and it's my right to film this in accordance with the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. And additionally, Askins versus Department of Homeland Security et al. Welcome back to the border, my friends. Please smash that like button if you're having a good time. Did just want to bring you back here to see who we could see going in the morning after we saw so many people going out in the afternoon, right? And you can see over there, there's a long line of vehicles coming in from Mexico. Lots of people coming in from Mexico. Not many people going out from the United States. So I guess what this shows to me is that there aren't many people working, commuting to work in Mexico from the United States. Yeah, Joe, I know. I could just walk right in. We could just go right into Mexico. But I'm happy in America. We're going to stay right in America. Okay? I don't know my rights in Mexico. I don't know if you have the same rights or any rights at all in Mexico, because I know their government can't even provide basic security. Right? They rely on us to do it for them in many cases. Here come some people coming through, right? So you can see the checkpoint, and they're processing vehicles, which is great. They're doing a good job. And there's somebody who just walked into Mexico. So I was wrong. There is one person on the far right. See? One person popped around the corner. Joe, if you have your passport and you want to come here, I will film you. I do think it's important to have a passport, but I don't think that today's the day for me to go hopping across borders and back. You know what I mean? My guess is 7 o'clock. I'm guessing 7 o'clock for school because they leave at 3. And they probably pay people in 8-hour shifts. Right? They probably pay people in 8-hour shifts so they can appropriately schedule it. That's my guess. So something tells me maybe tomorrow, if we come back at 7 a.m., we would sure see some interesting things here. Maybe 6. Maybe I have to just sleep right there. Huh. Is there a sign? Did anybody see a sign back here that said that I couldn't camp? No overnight parking? There's no sign. $5, somebody comes out for Border Patrol and you see them like pounding an engineer stake in, and they put a sign up today. No parking here for 30 days on the National Mall. Right, yeah, there's my vehicle. There's no signage anywhere. It says that I can't park overnight. So maybe I just hang out here overnight. We wait, see what happens in the morning. Ready? Boom, flip. And I would imagine they're getting this done early before like big groups of people are coming. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, the trucks park on the other side. I'll show you over there. Los truques están por ahí. Sí. Muchas gracias. Yeah, ¿quiere decir algo? No. Okay. Bueno, tenga buen día, señor. The gentleman said that the trucks are over there on the other side. There's a whole road of trucks, and I guess they go through a separate checkpoint behind all this. Vehicle checkpoint is what I imagine, but this gentleman is heading back to Mexico and was very, very polite. Say good morning. There's a couple over there. They're sneaking in. This looked like a middle-aged Caucasian couple right there, just walking into Mexico this morning, like it's the most normal thing in the world. We met a lot of people yesterday who were here for medical care. Americans were crossing. Oh, Joe's saying trucks parked there. I got you, buddy. Yeah, 10-4. That's smart. They were saying that they come over here for medical care. And one of the persons who we spoke with was a Marine veteran, a combat veteran who was in Vietnam for 3 years, commanding a platoon of Vietnamese and a squad of American Marines as a sergeant. He had 2 Purple Hearts, and he can't even get decent enough medical care in America through the Department of Veterans Affairs. And so he has to go to Mexico, he told us. And that's available in the video yesterday, which is certainly shadow banned and dialed down, right? But check it out. The good news is I've named Google and Alphabet in the lawsuit along with YouTube. So even if it gets thrown out, I'm naming their parent companies and I'm saying that they failed to appropriately train YouTube on United States laws, right? And that they, failed to hold them accountable related to implementing appropriate legal policies. So training and accountability, I'm trying to hit Google and Alphabet in addition to YouTube. And my real goal is just to get a law passed that bans shadow banning. I'm trying to get the U.S. Federal District Court to say that shadow banning is illegal. If it's like a foreign terrorist or something, I get it. Shadow ban that guy. Don't let him say things to Americans. If it's an Ivy League instructor who's never been convicted of a crime, right, who also trains law enforcement, who's saying something that you just don't happen to politically agree with, kiss my ass. You cannot block that speech. That is protected free speech. If I can give somebody the finger and that's protected free speech, then I can sure as heck shoot a video of something that's really happening in real time, right? If you're not being threatening or violent, you cannot block my speech. So my goal is to get the court to pass a law which states that it's illegal. And the way that I'll prove it is by, I'll subpoena Elon Musk and I'll have him say what happened at Twitter. I don't know if that'll work or not, but it's a plan. Additionally, I can just submit documents that have been published, right, where he was interviewed. Additionally, I can send a list of interrogatories, questions, over to YouTube stating like, regarding my email address, send me all communications related to my email address. Okay, send me all internal discussions related to this email address and channel. All right, send me all historical actions taken against this email address and channel. And they'll have to do it because a federal judge is telling them they have to. And I'm going to show them how my videos went from 25,000 per video to less than 5,000 views per video. And I'm going to say how people who were moderators and longtime supporters didn't get notifications despite having notifications turned on. So my argument is that they're taking electronic steps to stifle people's free speech subjectively and illegally. And I think I'm going to win. I really think I'm going to win because people like Elon Musk, who runs SpaceX, right, which is like deep in bed with the government. That's a credible dude to the government, or they wouldn't give him billions of dollars to like send their freight and cargo to outer space for them, right? Like, he's a credible dude. Just saying. So that's my plan. We're gonna do something about it. We're not just gonna sit and take it. And hopefully we can stop this whole process of shadow banning for everyone. So I'm gonna say this at the border. I'm suing YouTube in U.S. federal court, along with other groups, right, for what they did to me in July. I witnessed. But YouTube, you're gonna come in front of a judge and you're gonna explain what you've done and who told you to do it and why. Then you're all gonna freaking pay the visionaries. You'll see. You'll all pay the visionaries. Okay, that's what we're doing. So it looks pretty quiet today, right? Everything's going really well. That's right, we are paying them. If you go check out my videos, right, while it's quiet, you can go check out my videos on Rumble from yesterday and on YouTube. And you're gonna see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids being sent back across the border. So we're seeing him go both ways, guys, and I wanted to make sure that we were here to try to check it out. Oh, this was the guy that we waved to over here. He's coming in the back. Cool. I guess he works here. Today was really about exercising our rights as citizens. You know what I mean? Oh, you didn't get a notification again today? What? I'm turning you around real quick. You know, every good lover likes to turn around. All right, there we go. So, hey, we came down here. Maybe I needed to be here earlier, right? If they're leaving at between 3 and 4, they're probably coming in between 7 and 8, right? So I'm probably a little bit late today. It was a hunch. I just decided to give it a shot. Probably tomorrow is going to be an earlier day if we do it. But what I really wanted to do was come here because of the First Amendment, right? Yesterday, law enforcement officers told me that it was illegal for me to shoot video here. And that's not true, right? I spoke with attorneys and I read U.S. court case law
and specifically Askins versus Department of Homeland Security, which states that I can be here, I can record all of this, Border Patrol or any law enforcement officer can be filmed, and they cannot tell me that I can't do it, and they cannot take my camera and delete my video or my film. The only place I cannot record is where it says restricted area. I wouldn't do that anyway, because I wouldn't be in the restricted area unless I was trying to get you guys to hire me, you know. And I am trying to get you to hire me, but I'm just using a sign on my vehicle, Border Patrol. So it's cool, it's peaceful, right? This is about the First Amendment. The citizens of the United States of America are not weak. We will not stand down. We're not going to be bullied out of standing up for our constitutional rights. And, you know, you're not going to push us around. All right, I'm here legally. I'm just shooting video of the border, right? I'm not inciting any drama or disturbing any peace. Everything is cool. All right, but know that Americans will not be pushed around. We will always stand up for our rights. And I'm not the only one out there like me. So I just encourage the rest of you to peacefully and non-violently continue to stand up for freedom. All right, it's okay and it's safe and it's appropriate. Stand up for freedom. Stand up for yourselves. It's okay. It's the right thing to do. All right. Now this one, we saw not this guy, but we saw that kind of vehicle yesterday pull up from over here. It was a woman, and she took a bag and handed it to a vehicle. And, you know, and the guy drove into Mexico. They didn't talk at all. Just drove in. And that's on the video yesterday. You can see that too. So I hope you check out the video. I'm here at the border, just standing up for the First Amendment. Again, want to compliment the job that especially BORTAC and BORSTAR are doing, but ladies and gentlemen, the Border Patrol, I want to encourage our politicians in DC to support them with effective policies, right? We've already seen Governor Abbott in Texas implement his own policies, and we've seen, I think it's Governor Ducey in Arizona, correct me if I'm wrong, but the governor in Arizona as well implement his own policies. In Texas, it was stringent inspections to create tremendously long lines to force parties to the negotiating table like Obrador and Biden. And then in Arizona, it was shipping containers to force parties to the negotiating table, which were the government of Arizona and the government of the United States, which came to an agreement right on the back channel. So this is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing this today. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm also very firmly stating that you're not going to intimidate me out of accessing my rights. And if anyone ever does try to do that to me again, I know how to protect myself with the legal system. And even if they do cage me, I have people now who know who to contact and how to contact them to get me out. And I'm happy to go to jail for a few hours for the opportunity to sue you for many, many, many tens of thousands of dollars for doing that, you know. Never been convicted of a crime, and I don't intend to be. I'm not a criminal. Okay, so I love you guys. This is where I'm coming from. This is what's up at the border. Never be afraid to stand up for your rights. All right, our ancestors died. My friends died, right? People you know have served for your rights. American liberty, right? And if you don't know what's going on, maybe look what happened in France. Did anybody see what happened in France like yesterday? Could anyone tell me in the chat what happened in France? En France. Maintenant, je veux dire, les personnes en France, notre frères et sœurs en France, bon travail. Nous sommes avec vous pour la liberté. That's what I say to the people in French, you know. Do you know what happened in France? Did anyone see? Let's just do that before we sign off. Let's just talk about it real quick. Did you see what happened in France? And I told them, hey, good job. We're standing with you, brothers and sisters, for freedom. That's what I said in French, basically. So go look it up, okay? Go look at some live videos. Go look at live stream videos of what's happening in France right now and what the farmers are doing. And you're going to see fires in the streets and people assembled, hundreds of thousands of people, and you're going to see tractors driving through the streets of cities. Okay? All right. Always stand up for your rights. We don't want it to come to that, right? We want to peacefully and non-violently use our words to achieve a better reality in America, a more free reality, right? Our great-grandparents were much more free than we are today, right? Especially if we use technology like an iPhone that you can't take a SIM card out of. You can never not be tracked. So, hey, this is the world that we live in, and we all just willingly give up our freedom because either we're not aware of it or we don't care or we don't think that we can have an impact. I'm here to tell you that you can have an impact. Be brave, be strong, always stand up for what's right and appropriate, and I'll see you guys later. But I'm going to live stream on the way out in case anybody breaks my balls. Just in case. Because it's like a really good protection tool, you know? What happened in France? Let's just do that on the way out. We're going to say adios to the border. And if you love her, you bought her. If you didn't, you ought to. Get a little off that daughter from Juarez. All right. If you don't know Terry Allen. Yeah, dude, look. Joe, you were right, man. That's where trucks are parking. There are no signs anywhere. There are literally no signs in this entire lot. This would be the place to have a convoy, and then this guy is like, what's this guy doing here? Let's just watch this guy. Let's wear all black and kind of hide and not be doing anything at all at the border. Which is also a cool thing to do, you know, if you're creeping on people. Like that guy over there was, right? Whoop. Yeah, guys, we could camp here. How many hundred people do you think we could get in this lot? Joe, we could park some semi-truck here. Check it out, buddy. You let me know. I mean, this is better than a lot of the people's convoy spots. You got a Family Dollar right there for all the food you need. You can walk right into Mexico. Some beautiful barbed wire aesthetics. I'm just saying. All right, that's what it looks like, people. This is the border. This is where we are. This is the infrastructure. Here are the spots. It's very nice. It's very nice. And very safe. And I encourage you guys to all come and check out the border. We definitely don't need to have a big camping thing here. Unless the situation in America gets worse, right? At the border. All right, that's it, people. I'm out of here. Everybody's been real cool. We don't have any problems. So I hope you have an awesome day. Always stand up for your rights. Always stand up for your rights. It's safe and appropriate. It's good. Always stand up for your rights. Check out the chat. They're putting information in there about things that are coming up in the future. And as always, I love you guys. Semper Fi. Stay home.